Let's go to CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reed. She is in Washington. So, Paula, we heard Donald Trump there talking about this investigation. Tell us what else we can understand from what it is that the Attorney General had said, as well as what it is that the FBI Director, James Comey, had said about how they reached this conclusion.
Elaine, the Attorney General released her statement just hours before James Comey is expected to testify on the Hill. It really seems like a sign of solidarity, the timing of this announcement. She previously said last week that she will accept whatever recommendation investigators make in this case. So this was very much expected, but the timing is significant. Elaine, tomorrow, when the FBI director goes on the Hill, he is expected to face very aggressive questioning from Republicans. As I've said earlier today on CBSN, his own words can and will be used against him. They're really going to parse his speech from Tuesday, and they're going to ask him lots of questions about three things in particular. First of all, whether foreign actors could have possibly penetrated her server. He said a few different things. He said there's no evidence that happened, but it was possible. They're going to hammer him on that. They're also going to ask why her, quote, carelessness was not enough to bring even misdemeanor charges. And lastly, Elaine, he can expect tough questions on why he said that other people who did the same thing could potentially face charges, but Clinton did not. I think the theme that you're going to see there is whether or not there really is a separate set of justice for people like the Clintons.
Are there going to be areas, Paula, where he will not be able to delve too deeply into how it is that the FBI conducted its investigation?
That's a great question. I was talking to some people who used to work inside the Department of Justice about that very question. And I was actually very surprised. I thought because for a year he's been saying he can't answer questions from Congress because it's an ongoing investigation. I thought, well, it's not closed yet. But now officially it is closed. Even before the Attorney General formally closed it, for his purposes, he had come out and said that his investigation was done. He's pretty much able to answer questions about everything except for sealed search warrants and any grand juries that may have been used. But at this point, we have no reason to believe that a grand jury was used in this case, and it appears that a lot of the searches were done with the Clintons' consent, and those don't carry the same kind of confidentiality requirements. So it appears he'll have broad discretion in terms of what to talk about in the evidence in this case.
All right, Paula, stand by. Alice Stewart is a Republican strategist and former communications director for Ted Cruz's presidential run. She is in our Washington bureau as well. So let me just ask you, Alice, first of all, your reaction, I'm curious, to some of the comments that you heard from Donald Trump today. What we heard him say at the top of his remarks were actual quotes, a recitation, if you will, of some of the quotes from James Comey's statement on camera, and then he proceeded to use that to build his argument against Hillary Clinton.
I think it's to be expected. We knew all along if the case were to come out as it did, where no charges were filed, he had already telegraphed that he was going to use the line of rigged system, crooked system, and that's exactly what he's doing. I think, as Paula mentioned, the timing of this was very choreographed to have Comey come out with the statement that he recommends no charges and outline what he would recommend to Loretta Lynch just hours before Barack Obama goes on the campaign trail with Hillary Clinton. This was certainly not a coincidence by any stretch of the imagination. But I think for Donald Trump to go out there and focus too much on the crooked system and the rigged system, he needs to really highlight what actually Comey did say, was that there was extreme carelessness with regard to the use of this email server, and highly classified emails were sent through this server, and also point out the fact that repeatedly Hillary Clinton unequivocally stated that she did not send any classified emails through this server and through her personal emails, and we now know that is absolutely not true. Hundreds of them were sent, and that is a bald-faced lie on her part, and Comey highlighted that. But in the end, the fact that remains that regardless of the fact that this was extremely careless, and there's the potential that bad actors from other countries have hacked the system and could potentially use some of this classified information against Americans and in some terrible way, possibly regard to terrorism. We don't know that yet, and that's something that will be determined possibly down the road. We pray that it's not the case, but the fact remains there is still a lot of information that has come out of this investigation that can and no doubt will be used against Hillary Clinton as we move further down the campaign trail.
All right, Paula Reed and Alice Stewart, thank you both so much.
Thank you.